Trump has been quietly doing one thing every day since inauguration that Obama didn't do in 8 years. Comedian and actor Steve Harvey had some praise to dish out about President Donald Trump this week. In a very short interview conducted by TMZ this week, while coming out of a clothing store in Los Angeles, comedian Steve Harvey was asked by a TMZ reporter how he felt about President Trump. Harvey, in a dismissing demeanor towards the reporter, said, "I've been working with HUD. He's keeping his promises." Harvey is working with Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Ben Carson, on improving inner cities. Of course, when he was asked if he was actually happy with the job President Trump was doing, he replied, with a laugh, "I didn't say that. Because President Trump isn't African American like Barack Hussein Obama, and it just wouldn't go ever well if he praised. Especially in the liberal Hollywood circles Steve Harvey spends his time in. He'd probably never work again." If you recall, when President Trump was President-elect Trump, for some unexplained reason he took the time to meet with many of these irrelevant so-called comedians and actors. My guess is he had a lot of time to spare back then, cause other than teaching him how to memorize lines, which he already does very well, there is no need to meet with these overpaid crybabies who throw temper tantrums at the first sight of not getting their way. President Trump went as far as calling Steve Harvey, "my good friend," after their January 13th meeting. This, of course, sparked all sorts of fake outrage from the rich liberal elite in the media and Hollywood. It led to calling Harvey all kinds of names, including an Uncle Tom. Because liberal tolerance reigns supreme, and African Americans aren't allowed to fraternize with those who they falsely perceive as being the enemy. Meanwhile, liberal media darlings Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton get filthy rich off playing the so-called race card, but have never done a damn thing to help the poor inner-city African American community. The liberal elite will probably say Harvey made a mistake, like when he announced the wrong winner of Miss Universe 2015, but maybe someday they'll see what all the rest of us common folks see in Donald Trump. He's a man who's keeping his promises. Share this if you love that Trump is keeping his word and winning converts even in liberal Hollywood. Jeff Rainforth contributed to this article. Kid Rock just showed up to White House and wasn't alone, makes epic scene with who he brought with him. President Trump had some guests at the White House late on Wednesday night. It's not the usual guests you might expect a president to have visit, but it could be the more fun type, that's for sure. Kid Rock and Ted Nugent brought their dates to the White House, and along with them was Sarah Palin, the former governor of Alaska. Each of the three are epic Trump supporters, being very outspoken on social media and the general public about President Trump and our need to have a right-wing leader running the country. Nugent and Rock are wonderful American musicians who love a good right-wing Republican in the White House. They couldn't be more happy about it. Sarah Palin, a Republican herself, has been supportive of Trump since the debates and even came along to one of them as a guest of then-candidate Trump. Former Alaska Governor Sarah Palin, R., visited President Trump at the White House late Wednesday, bringing along musicians Ted Nugent and Kid Rock. Palin has been an outspoken supporter of Trump since his campaign, and was invited to be one of his guests during an October debate last year. It makes perfect sense to invite them to the White House. When you're a celebrity star and support the president, then a nice visit once in a while is a grand gesture that keeps your team supportive of you. It would be really nice if Trump began inviting strangers, but then that's a bit dangerous if you think about it. I'm sure the White House doesn't want any stranger danger as their guests. On Wednesday night, Palin, Kid Rock and Nugent were pictured in the Oval Office with the president. Nugent's wife, Shemaine Desiel, and Audrey Berry, Kid Rock's fiancée, were also at the White House and are in one of the photos. Further details of the visit were not immediately made known, though it appeared that the group also visited other parts of the White House. I'm glad the ladies made it into at least one photograph. How nice of them to be included. I hope they were in all of the pictures. I'm sure there are a few famous people only pictures, but the significant other, especially if they're married, should always be included. Sometimes our other half is the reason our first half is successful. Unless that other half is a 26-year-old model and you're a 90-year-old man, then we know what that's all about. Since further details about the visit were not known, then we can only speculate what happened that night in the White House. If we had to be fictional and fun with our ideas, then I'm guessing Nugent and Kid Rock sat around with instruments and had a campfire-like sing-along. President Trump probably sang his version of Sweet Home Alabama, then Kid Rock did his version. Ted Nugent probably jumped off the same couch that Kellyanne Conway put her feet on. Or better yet, Nugent, Trump, and Kid Rock jump off the furniture that Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky allegedly had relations on, while Sarah Palin did keg stands from the same desk that Obama put his feet all over. Democrats mad yet? I hope they had a top secret party and rocked out all night. Of course, if we know Trump, he probably went back to work after hanging out for about an hour. He's more into Twitter than real life parties. Maybe the details of the White House visit by Palin, Nugent, and Kid Rock will be released later this week. If not, then it was probably just a brief meeting for fun and photographs, but not much else. We can only hope for the exciting things to happen when President Trump has music stars as guests, but I guess we have to be realistic too. We want the epic party, but they give us the professional meet and greet photo session. Minutes after terror attack in Paris, Trump comes out with shocking announcement. The religion of peace has struck again. Breaking news coming in from France is confirming that a terror attack has just gone down on the Champs-Élysées in central Paris by a man who attacked two police officers with an AK-47 rifle, fatally shooting them both. Armed officers are currently flooding the streets, where the gunman has reportedly been shot and killed. But shortly after the world learned of the attack at the hands of yet another Muslim extremist, President Trump wasted no time making a shocking announcement to America's enemies. After 8 years of Barack Hussein Obama's continual pandering to Muslim terrorists, where the dirtbag refused to use the phrase Islamic extremism whenever an atrocity occurred, President Trump is showing everyone how his views are at the other end of the spectrum when it comes to dealing with these vermin. Our wonderful politically incorrect president wasted no time holding a press conference to send condolences to France, but to also send a stern warning to Muslims everywhere with the message that he gave. Not beating around the bush but immediately decrying the actions of the Muslim shooter, he labeled the atrocity an act of terror, where he said, "Our condolences from our country to the people of France," Trump said at a news conference alongside Italian Prime Minister Paolo Gentiloni. Trump continued, "Again, it's happening, it seems. I just saw it as I was walking in, so that's a terrible thing. And that's a very, very terrible thing that's going on in the world today. But it looks like another terrorist attack. And what can you say? It just never ends. We have to be strong and we have to be vigilant, and I've been saying it for a long time." While more details are still trickling in at this point, one witness relayed what he saw as the bloody atrocity played out on the streets of Paris, saying, "I came out of the Sephora shop and I was walking along the pavement where an Audi 80 was parked. A man got out and opened fire with a Kalashnikov on a policeman," witness Chelug, a kitchen assistant, told Reuters. "The policeman fell down. I heard 6 shots, I was afraid. I have a 2-year-old girl and I thought I was going to die. He shot straight at the police officer." Other reports are saying that the shooter is still on the loose. We are still trying to confirm these conflicting reports at this time, but according to journalist Paul Watson, Yusuf al-Asri is now on the run at this time. It's so great to finally have a president with a set of balls who calls out evil for what it is, not giving a flying crap about whose feelings he hurts. If these idiots try pulling a stunt like this in America, you can be sure that in a matter of 24 hours President Trump will be unleashing fury on the terrorists responsible, who will no doubt be wishing they'd never screwed with the greatest country on earth. Our prayers tonight will be with the people of France. Hopefully Marine Le Pen will win the election and put a stop to this nonsense before another horrific terror attack strikes again. World-renowned psychic who accurately predicted 9/11 has chilling warning for Trump about May 13, 2017. Whether you're one to believe in clairvoyance or not, there is no denying the incredible accuracy of one world-renowned blind psychic who accurately predicted the terror attacks on September 11, Barack Obama's win as 44th president before he ran, and more. Now, more of what Bubba Vanga predicted before she died almost 10 years ago is unfolding before our eyes, leading to perhaps the most chilling prediction yet for what's going to happen on May 13, 2017. Vanga has a shocking success rate of major predictions well before they came to fruition, which some believe proves that she's correct. She stated that America's 44th president would be black and would also be the last African American leader of the United States. She also predicted the rise of the Islamic State in conjunction with an attack they would commit on U.S. soil, referring to horror in the homeland caused by steel birds. This was her way of describing the airplanes in her prophetic mind that ultimately hit the Twin Towers, since she didn't understand what a modern aircraft looked like or was called, having been blind since age 12, documentary Tube reports. She passed away in 1996 before her other prophecies could unfold, which we are seeing now today, including a conflict between Russia, America, and North Korea that she said would start from Islamic State's involvement in Syria. Now, her psychic successor, self-proclaimed messenger of God Horacio Villegas, according to the Mirror, has an equal accuracy to Vanga and a chilling warning for President Trump and America. Villegas' latest statement comes as a warning with not much time before the given date in which he claims it will take place. As we watch what is happening between North Korea, Russia, America, and Syria, it seems that we're on the brink of World War III, and Villegas said it's closer than we thought, set to start on May 13, 2017. This comes after he said in 2015 that America's billionaire businessmen would become the Illuminati king who will bring the world into World War III, Villegas said. That day is less than a month away, and with everything happening as both mystics suggested it would, and proof of which is right before our eyes, there's strong reason to believe this war is on our horizon. His prediction is particularly troublesome for Russia, North Korea, and China, which Villegas says will be in deadly global conflict. The specific date doesn't come without reasoning, as explained by the Mirror. It is claimed that Our Lady, another name for the Virgin Mary, Mother of Jesus, visited Fatima in Portugal on 6 different occasions. The first visitation was said to have taken place on May 13, 1917. This was the day, according to the Catholic faith, that Our Lady warned people